Yo, Four Quarters Podcast. We back, man. Got my guy Smitty, of course. Host Render was good.
What's
I hope I'm
happening?
saying it right. Yeah. But damn, Smiz, man, we got a lot to cover, bro, man. So I don't know where you want to take the conversation, how you want to start this thing out, man.
Yeah, it's
Here's
been a
the
minute.
moment,
Sorry to
man.
the people. A little technical difficulties on our last pod. So you know, sorry for the delay. But we back. Um GWOC roundup like always. When Centerville smacked Wayne, we don't want to talk about that. BTA real bad. That was like 2 weeks ago. Wayne versus Springfield, 3-point win. Uh Shout out to EJ Rice, 27 points.
He's
Uh,
cooking right now.
I think he had 25 versus Northridge.
Northridge. Yeah,
I guess Sherrod quit, and it's clear to say who picked that load up.
for sure.
They got a big win versus New Albany last night at New Albany too.
Yeah,
So
saw
big,
that.
big, big shout out to the field for that one. Go ahead, give them a clap up for that.
Yeah.
God show some love to the field, man.
Yeah, man, let's go, man. Y'all been having a tough season, man.
Yeah,
We low key was kicking y'all's back end, Paul. So we got to give y'all the flowers, man. So big win,
for sure.
last night versus New Albany. Um, yeah. So back to the GWOC roundup. Leave Centerville alone. I'm sorry, young cat. Oh, he's glazing. I'm just keeping it real. Leave them alone. They just won their eighth consecutive GWOC title. Um, is I nickname I renamed it,
Them
man. I'm
boys, man.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Them boys,
I'm
man.
sorry, man. I renamed the G Walk C Walk. Centerville. I mean, Centerville runs an 8 out of 10. What can you say? Until Cups, hats off to you over there. Last night, Wayne, scrimmage, Meadowdale. Sorry. Nothing to talk about. It wasn't even BTA. This was this was
That's some
bad.
garbage.
Yeah,
That's
this
some
was this was
overtime.
bad. I don't know. Like,
Can
how
I
can
ask
I
this
say
question real
how
quick?
can I say this and be nice, man?
I want to ask a question real quick. Couldn't Wayne? I want to see Wayne. I don't want to see Wayne play Stivers, Meadowdale. Uh, who else?
You
Thurgood. I
know
don't
why
want to
they you
see.
know why they took Trotwood off the schedule, bro. They booed the cheerleaders, bro. Man, they played the last time we played.
I was
You was there,
coaching.
you was coaching
I was
when the
coaching.
last
I
time they
was.
played, but
I was.
the cheerleader, at the beginning of the games, this at Wayne,
At
where the
Wayne, yeah.
cheerleaders, do the little introduction. But Trotwood booed them, bro.
They ain't having it. Come on, man.
But
Why
I ain't
said
gonna
no
lie,
more?
bro. They low key showed their ass that game. I can't even. It was over with after that. It was done.
Was this at Trotwood?
No, this was
Now this is
at
at Wayne.
Wayne.
Oh,
It was
come
at
on,
Wayne.
Trotwood, man. I mean, either way, but come on, Trot. Trotwood, man. Hey, man.
But yeah, man, they beat
Yeah.
Meadowdale by 50, bro. It was hard to watch, bro. Like, other than Dunbar and I'm guessing Belmont now, Dayton Public, it's over with, huh? As far as like them's the only two teams, like Dayton Public.
That's what it's looking like because not only that they played last night. Dunbar and Meadowdale play. I'm not Dunbar
Yeah,
and Meadowdale.
yep. They got their get
Dunbar and
back.
Belmont played last night, so they played for the city. Ended up playing for the city championship last night, and Dunbar definitely put a number on Belmont. But
What was up with that game? Any details? Because obviously Belmont won the first game. But what do you think the difference was?
I think Dunbar came out with a lot of more energy, and I think they didn't let up at all. Also, I do think that. Um, Dunbar controlled the glass. So I think, when they did that, I feel like they controlled the game. And, hats off to Tony Dixon. I think that's probably his about
No,
six
that's
straight
Go
city.
ahead, give him a round of applause for that, man.
Yeah,
Give him a round of
yeah,
applause for
nah,
that.
definitely. Gotta show TD some love, man. Gotta show TD some love. So I think yesterday they definitely handled business. I think it was up by 20 at one point in time. So they got J Maul over there, they got Moses over there. They did a really good job yesterday. Even one of my boys, Kevin Jackson, man, he looked really good yesterday. So, shout out to them. I don't think you could I think you could tell the difference in how Dunbar came in more focused and more locked in than the last game. I feel like they probably a little bit underestimated him a little bit and felt like they kind of got a little bit comfortable. So I do think that um, Dunbar came in and just handled business real and let everybody know, hey, we still big dog in the city right now. But don't sleep on Belmont, though. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
nah.
No,
Hey,
that's what's up.
Belmont
Hey,
on his way back.
I
well,
seen a video. I want to say I think Cook Daquan posted it on Facebook, and it was Tony basically like y'all looked past them that last game. Like y'all didn't,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Basically, like y'all wasn't focused. Y'all thought y'all had an easy one, and they punched y'all in the mouth.
Yeah.
So it's like, you feel me? What y'all gonna do this time around? Like y'all know what's at stake. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't got to do too much talking. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, looking at Belmont's record, they're 500, and
You know they only lost to Beaver Creek by one.
They should
Beaver
have beat
Creek's
Beaver
weird,
Creek.
man. Beaver
Oh,
Creek's
we talked
weird.
about that. I keep forgetting. Yeah, we talked about that last one. Yeah, they
I just
only
want to
lost to
say this
Beaver
real
Creek
quick.
by one.
This is
What you
what
say? It was a bad call. A bad call at the end of the game, right, Render?
Yeah, it was a bad call. So like, I think they did like a sideline out of bounds play, and then I think got something to the rim, and they said it was I guess it was some little contact, and they called the foul, which I thought was a bad call. Normally once you get to like about under 5 seconds, you kind of let it just play out.
right.
No, for
Unless it's
sure. You
something
don't. You
late,
don't.
you
You
know what I
don't want
mean?
to. You don't want to do that, man.
You don't call it ticky
Yeah,
tack like that.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, I was just
So
looking at Belmont. Like I said, 500 as of right now. They're 9-9 this year. They got 2 games left. But if you look at this time last year, or how their 24-25 season went, you're talking about a team that went 3-20. You know what I
Damn.
mean? And you go fast forward to this year, they're 9-9. So, there's something happening with Belmont, to coach's point, like, hey, Dunbar, y'all got it, right? Y'all the big dogs, y'all own the city every year. But I do think Belmont is starting to signal that there's a new dog in the yard, and you might want to show some respect. They split this year. That going through the record, lost to Dunbar late in the season, lost to Dunbar again, early in the season, and they pretty much got, killed the whole season. Beaver Creek beat them 87-33 last year. You know what I
crazy.
mean? So again, man, I don't want to give them a clap too much, but just a little small kind of props because I see things going on in Belmont right now.
No, for sure. They definitely on the up and up though.
I'm gonna
Only
tell
if
you.
Yeah, go ahead, coach.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think, like I said, in order to be able to change the culture, you got to do it year by year. I thought this was a great foundational year for D Morgan, and I think that he's doing a great job with the boys, especially for what he does have. Because I just hate how a lot of it's a lot of kids, and how everything is going right now, as far as like most of the kids is going out towards the suburban schools. So for a fact that for what he's doing with what he has, I can only commend that, and I
Oh,
can
you get a
only
clap,
I could.
man. Get a clap,
You,
man.
you-
Clap.
yeah, you got to salute that.
You know what I'm saying? Well
You
done,
have
coach.
to. So, like, that's why I say, like, next year, like I said, this is a foundational year for D Morgan. I think next year he's gonna definitely come around. You know, hey, he's gonna go on that portal. Hey, you know how that high school portal is, man. But
Yeah.
I do think he's gonna definitely do well for sure. He's gonna do well for next year.
That's what's up.
Good luck to those guys.
We're gonna transition to Fairmont girls versus Princeton girls again. Sorry for the delay, like we said before, but we me and my guy Pump went to go check these young ladies out, and at the time, what Princeton girls what lost one game
Right.
at
Yep.
that time. And this was basically two heavy hitter girls team in the state of Ohio. Fairmont ended up coming out on top with a amazing performance by Kayla Thornton. I think she had 24 points, 11 boards.
She had a great game.
She played phenomenal. She definitely you could definitely see the D1 in her. She signed to go to Akron. And I mean, she basically she took over that game. She controlled that whole game. I want to say at one point she scored 8 straight. Real aggressive, real aggressive guard. Her counter partner, sophomore, um, Hargrove, Janaya Hargrove. You definitely could see the flashes in her game.
Look
She
out.
she got she got offers from everybody in the country right now, and she only a sophomore, but um, she had a kind of like a silent game. The sleeper who stood out to us for Fairmont, you probably had to get her name pump. Number 4, she went scoreless in the first half, and
Mariah Bailey.
what's her name?
Malaya Bailey.
Malaya Bailey for
And I hope we don't
Fairmont.
get this wrong, but the numbers match up with her name. So
Right.
Malaya Bailey, if we got this wrong, we apologize. But the young point guard was she's a stud.
11 ended up finished the game with 11 points. But it was like her buckets was like big buckets. You know what I'm saying? There might have been a time or two where they might have went, a period where they didn't score, and she might have got a bucket. It might have been a time to where Princeton was making a little run, and she came and got a tough and one at one point. And I mean, just to see her poise, she's a sophomore as well, so it'll be interesting to see her and Hargrove here in the next 2 years at
Yeah,
Fairmont. And I honestly think that Fairmont girls could make a deep run in the tournament. Um,
they look excellent.
Princeton, on the other hand, they have a young stud as well. Her name's Erin Thomas. I want to say she finished the game with 26. Really didn't have a good shooting night, but Princeton as a whole, they didn't shoot it well. They had a young lady, I forget her number, and I could tell she was a shooter because they were constantly running plays for her, and she was getting the looks, but she just couldn't knock nothing down. They just couldn't knock nothing down. Thomas, I felt like she played too far away from the bucket. Like again, like I said, she didn't shoot it well, so that probably could have been a problem. But she started at she was above the 3 point line starting off on the offense, and we kind of talked about it at the game, like kind of working her in probably at that free throw line because they was playing zone at one point in time, so working her at that 3 point line to the block just to get her hands on the ball in better position to make something happen other than out there almost by the volleyball line.
Well, yeah, I want to say something about her stats too. She did everything. You talked about the 26 points. She had 1 block. She had 2 steals. She had a couple assists. She had 8 rebounds. I mean, went 13 for 15 from the foul line. I mean, and again, to Smitty's point, we're like, hey man, if you would have just got the ball in the paint a little bit more, like what could you have scored? You know what I mean? Where could that 26 have taken you? You could have probably got that 35 or 40. That's the type of talent she has. So, I was really impressed with her. And then I was just going to say too, and then you look at Janiah Hargrave, even though Kayla Thornton was the main player, she had 24 points, 4 steals, 1 block, 14 boards, 2 assists. I mean, she was all over the place. But young Janiah almost had a triple double, bro. She had
Damn,
10
for real?
points.
That's
She had
tough.
10. She had 10 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 9 rebounds. Oh, that's my fault. I read that wrong. Nah, she had almost a double-double. I thought the 9 and 9 threw me off because it's got the defensive column, then it's just got rebounds.
Okay.
My fault. She's still a hooper, though. She's still very capable of getting the trip dub. So, my bad on that one.
No,
But, I
but
mean, yeah, all in all, good game, man.
yeah, for sure. I feel like if they played again, I'm not going to say like Fairmont doesn't win or Princeton automatically wins, but I feel like it's a better game for Princeton because they couldn't hit anything. I'm talking about it was bad. Like it was like, damn, are they ever going to hit a shot? Like it was kind of like that bad. Like when nothing was falling for them, like at all. So I feel like if they match up again and Princeton will probably not shoot like that again, they probably could have a real interesting game.
No, for sure. I mean, depending on the playoff situation, they may see each other.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is probably, what I'm saying, in the same region at least.
Very
District
likely.
for sure. Um this past Saturday, I went to go check out CJ girls versus Wayne girls. This was my first time seeing Wayne girls play. This is my second time seeing CJ's girls play. And this was an interesting game because Wayne girls actually, uh, again, I mean, they look like a solid team. Now, I don't really got too much stats on them. I'm pretty sure Pump could get them stats together for me. But
Yeah, I got you up here. Yep.
they they played CJ well. Of course, the usual suspects at CJ. Cook had a game. Um, Kane, the point guard, she won the MVP. She had a good game. Um, which gets me into uh my next point. Nariah Goddard
Got her.
Got it.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Wayne,
Yeah.
sophomore, found a hidden gem. This young lady's a cooker. Um, she's a cooker, sophomore. And she did it all, but she kind of had Henson kind of, she was on Henson's tail that game. She guarded her real tough. Now, granted, there was the fouls was I kind of felt like there could have been a lot more fouls to go her way, but she stayed poised. I want to say I think she ended up finishing with 10. Henson did, but she played her tough. I mean, she guarded her full court. She was real physical, and on the offensive side, she could get to the rim. She could shoot. She got a counter partner, Desiree Thomas. She's a shooter. She could shoot it as well. She had a good game. Want to say I think she might have been the MVP for Wayne. But yeah, this was a good game. I'm happy I went because, like I said, I got to see some new cookers that we ain't got to check out on the girls' side, as well as the previous cookers that we've mentioned. I'm gonna get that females cookers list together for y'all too. I ain't forgot. So before the season is over, probably sometime this week, hopefully in the next week or so, I'll have that females cookers list because late in the season we kind of picked up on the female side. So
No, for sure. Well, I
for the
want to say
next
something.
year we could probably get in more on the female side because we kind of know what to look for
Now
too.
we know where
Because
y'all
there's
at.
some
Yeah.
girls in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
man. There's a freshman, I forget her name, but I done seen her put up 40. I done seen her put up
Holy
50s.
smokes.
And I'm like, what is going on up there? I want to say I think she might go to Western Hills, but and even somebody done mentioned her on one of our pages too. So yeah, definitely interested to see what the future holds on the female side of things as well as the men.
Well, I
I
want to
think
say
it's
something about. Oh, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
I think it's another girl that's from like Wynn Woods. That's like really good. I think her last name's like Strawberries or something like that. I heard she really good too.
What
Um,
grade? You got a grade on her?
I think she either a junior or a senior.
Junior or senior?
She might
Strawberry.
be she might be a junior. She might be a junior if I'm not mistaken. I think she averaged like almost 25.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah,
check her out.
I think they won a state last year too if I'm not mistaken too.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. You
Yeah,
right.
yep. Yeah, she might be a junior or a senior if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to tap in.
I
Yeah,
was
that
gonna
girl's is
circle.
different, man.
I was gonna
Facts.
circle back to your girl, man, Mariah Goddard, man. She's only a sophomore. She's second in the GWOC in scoring with 16.2 points a game. She's leading the GWOC in assists with 4.3. She is also, see here, second in steals.
Dang. Oh yeah, she cooking. Hats off. Hats off. Hats off to
Yeah,
her. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Definitely a young cooker out there.
yeah.
Definitely a late cooker that we seen right before the season ended. So yeah, hats off to that young lady and as well as Wayne's girls. Like I said, I haven't heard much. I don't really know much, but just that game that I seen, they played a really good CJ girls team. In my opinion, I mean, couple baskets go a different way. They possibly could win that game
Well, I think Fairmont is loaded, and I think they're very well coached. They have a great combination of talent. When we watch the game, I do believe Princeton could have played better. They just missed so many shots. It was kind of crazy. But when I think back on the game, they made it difficult for Princeton at every step. That was partially why they were missing so many shots, in my opinion, because it was either a three or a difficult shot. And when
for
you look at
sure.
the starting lineup, you got Kayla Thornton, who's leading the league in points at 18.2. Hargrave is actually number 3 in points, but Janai is also a rebounder. She's second in rebounding, and then Kayla's number 1 in steals. And then Malai Bailey, who we talked about, the young point guard, shooting 55%. This is a tough team. Now, again, we need to see what the rest of the landscape looks like as far as them making a deep playoff run. But, there was a lot of hype behind Princeton, and they handled Princeton. And when you look at the individual talent that they got, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know who's really going to – I'm not going to say I don't know who's going to beat them, but I do see them going very deep in the playoffs. So
No,
shout out
for
to
sure.
Fairmont girls for sure.
You
Yeah.
transition to your altar and your altar game
Well, I won't
late.
spend too much. Yeah, I won't spend too much time on Badin, man. I just think that Alter and Badin split this year, and when I went to that game, Badin's is just a big team. They went to Alter and took it to them, beat them by like 12. Alter probably didn't have the best game. A lot of their players that played really well in the Fairmont game, which we'll talk about here in a second, wasn't hitting like they were in that game, right? But got to give Badin their props. They got a good record. They split so far with Alter. I think Coach Renner. I think they're D4, D5.
I think they're Division 3.
D3. I mean, they're probably going to be a force in that conference there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or that
yeah,
division.
yeah. I really think Baton is one of them sleeper teams. I think either D4 or D3. I'm thinking D3 though. They're one of them sleeper teams that can actually, if they match up with the right teams, they can make a run because I do feel like, they're well coached, they hit shots and they when you have height, when you have
Yeah, I about to
when you
say you
have
said they was lengthy, wasn't? Then you
yeah,
pump
yeah,
balls.
yeah, yeah. So when when you have that mixing with good coaching, everything else, you can really be able to make a playoff run. You can make a deep playoff run. So don't sleep on Bayon. Don't sleep on
Yeah.
Bayon. I think
Well,
that Division 3
they are pretty.
Southwest is going to be loaded. It's going to be loaded for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about hoops that I noticed this year, and I don't want to get too far off topic, but it's not the divisions will get you messed up. If you think that it's because Division 1 versus 2 versus 3 versus, I mean, we just saw Tri Village at Division 5. And I can name 5, 10 Division 1 teams that do not want to go see Tri Village right now.
Oh,
You know
that's
what
a
I mean?
fact.
But bringing it back to Badin real quick, what's interesting about Badin is that they're now number 1 in the GCL, and they're on an 11-game winning streak. Beat Alter, who me and Smitty went and saw a couple weeks ago. We saw with our own eyes what Alter can do. Like, they are legit. You know what I mean? So 11-game winning streak leading the conference, man. So I'm very anxious, to coach's point, to see what they do in this playoffs in D3 basketball. Because like I said, man, what I saw was, that's a serious team over there, and they are well coached.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think Baden has a chance to be able to make a run, but obviously you still got LaSalle, you still got Trotwood, like you still got teams that can still be able to make runs as well. It just
No, coach.
depends on where everybody gets placed at. Really, that's really where it matters.
Well, let's do this real quick because we can circle back to Fairmont and Alter because we definitely got to circle back to that game. But you mentioned Trotwood. When I saw Trotwood earlier in the year, the first time I saw Trotwood was against Alter, who I have a ton of respect for. We're going to talk more about Alter here in a minute versus Fairmont. But not to take anything away from Trotwood, because how difficult is it to go all the way up to Lima and then the very next game go to Princeton? I mean, of all games at the, Coach, you mentioned how late in the season, we go into war zones. You know what I mean? But I can't help but think Trotwood loses by 40 at Lima. And don't get me wrong, Lima is, in my opinion, top 3 team in the state, arguably, right? Might be top 2, depending on the night. They could be number 1, right? They're just that good to me. But then they go to Princeton, lose by 30. I've watched Lima, I've watched Princeton. I just don't understand. I don't think Lima is 40 points less than, or Trotwood is 40 points less than Lima. I don't think Trotwood is 30 points less than Princeton. So, for someone that's been involved with Dayton basketball for a long time, Coach, I really wanted to push this question to you. Like, what is going on with Trotwood, or is Lima and Princeton just that good at this point in the season?
So I'm gonna say this right. Um, with how I want to take this. So Trotwood, right? So Trotwood has had a crazy schedule this year. Has had a crazy schedule, and I feel like how they set up their schedule is gonna have them ready for a deep run going into March. So, and that's what you want. You want to make sure you battle tested going into March. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't get the fact. They probably could have spread it. They probably could have spread it out a little bit more. Within the season. With they had a weekend this past weekend. They had a weekend for sure. But I do think like it's only getting them ready for the tournament. You know what I'm saying? All these games is just getting you ready for the tournament. I want to go play the best. I want to go see the best. So I'm gonna go see the Limas. I'm gonna go see the Princetons. I'm gonna go see the Saint X. I'm gonna go see all these teams because they're gonna make me better. They're gonna make me better. They're gonna make me figure out, some things that I need to know about my team. I need to know, what adjustments that need to be made so I can be ready going into the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So, and you also got to look too, like, you losing to arguably the number 1 D2 team in the state. Then you got to turn back around and play against the number 2 Division 1 team in the state. You know
True.
what I'm saying? So I feel like I do feel like, it's pros and cons to it, but at the end of the day, this is all just, we all just playing. We playing because we're getting ready for the tournament, and like I said, I'm not mad at it. I do think they should have just just spread it out a little bit more than what they did. You know what I'm saying? So you can be able to, game planning is important.
Mhm.
You can't turn around from going to Lima
Mhm.
and then you got to turn back around and game plan for Princeton.
Right.
Like that's
Mm-mm.
tough.
Hey,
On
That's
even
any
tough.
that
coach.
sounds
On
crazy.
any
Yeah,
coach.
any coach. I don't care
Yeah.
who you are. I don't care if you
On
Cup. I
any
don't care
coach.
if you
Right.
Moss.
Good point.
Anybody. That is
Yeah.
tough.
Right. Right. Right.
No,
That
for
is
sure.
tough. So like I still give a ton of respect. And to be honest, for me, Trotwood is still a top team in the area, regardless of what happened, anything like that. But I feel like they came in. Lima Senior is good. Don't get me wrong. They're very good. But to your point, they are not 30 points better than Trotwood. And that's just a
For sure.
fact.
Yeah.
And I'm
That
going
was
to say this too. Trotwood went down to Princeton and they had Princeton was only up one going into halftime. If a couple possessions go another way, we'll be having a different conversation about this Trotwood Princeton game as well. So, like I said, Trotwood is gonna be fine. Like I said, they just beat CJ and the barn burner, and it's hard to go to CJ and go beat CJ. So, like I said, they got back on the winning side by beating CJ by 4. Like I said, hats off to Coach Bland and Coach Yates and all them. Like hats off to them because it's tough to go a weekend like that and then turn back around. You gotta go to somebody else's house and go beat them. That's tough. So
yeah.
salute to
Three
them.
straight road
Yeah.
games.
I would say between them and Centerville, those are the two toughest schedules that I've seen outside of
Yes,
like a Lakota. I would give Lakota West serious props for their schedule as well. But I mean, pound for pound, Trotwood and Centerville might have the two toughest schedules that I've came across.
yeah,
Yeah, when we was looking up Trotwood's schedule earlier in the season, I was like, this is crazy. And then I'm like,
crazy,
oh, they Indy too though, but still,
Right,
like,
crazy,
even being Indy, why would you even do that?
right,
Like,
right,
and
right.
not only that, Charwood got Dunbar on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Yeah, Charwood got Dunbar on Saturday. So
listen,
like, you
Right.
talking
It
about a
don't, it's
schedule,
not stop. It's
yeah, Dunbar's
non-stop.
hungry,
man?
bro.
You talking about a schedule?
Yeah,
Hey, if you want to play the best,
right.
this the schedule that you need to play.
Right, right, right. No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, good luck. Because I mean, Jesus, man, Dunbar's hungry. You know how
Oh
bad
yeah,
Dunbar probably wants to beat Trotwood? Like, oh my God, bro. So,
I kind
yeah,
of feel like they probably looking at it as like get back week. You feel me? They
for
got they
sure.
got Belmont. They got Belmont
Right,
out the way. Now it's
right.
now it's time to go get
They
now
are
it's time to go get
fired
Trotwood.
up, bro.
Yeah,
That is
now
a
it's time to go get
dangerous
Trotwood.
game for Trotwood, bro.
Nah, for sure.
Dangerous game. I hey, I ain't gonna say who's gonna win that game. If I was a betting man, I don't know. I might pick Dunbar just to play. See who.
And it's at Dunbar too, though.
Yeah, I might go. I'm gonna have to go Dunbar, man. I mean, again, you know where I
ooh,
stand with Trotwood. You know where I stand with Trotwood. I thought Trotwood. When you look at our top teams list that we watch, Trotwood's in my top teams every single time. I think Trotwood is elite. But there's just something vulnerable about them right now. And then they're going to play a very hungry, very doggish Dunbar at Dunbar. So Trotwood can win, but that is not a safe game.
man, that's tough. That's tough because that's a rivalry game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
do think what's crazy is last time that Dunbar played, Dunbar was actually up 4 with like about 3 minutes left in the game. It was just a back and forth game. So I won't be surprised on how close the game will be. The thing will be is how will Dunbar, because I don't know, I think one of Dunbar's kids had to sit out for the remainder of the season.
Ah,
It was I think it was the white kid that was playing, and he was a very tremendous piece on Dunbar really coming back because he really hit a lot of big shots. I
Mm-hmm.
think he hit like two or three threes down the stretch of that game to really put them up. But now I think it comes down to, obviously who scores the basketball, but also who can be able to make the best adjustments, who can make the clear cut adjustments. That's what it's gonna come down to. Obviously, putting the ball in the hole, that's what's gonna be. Corey Reeves, I think he had like 31 that game.
Damn.
Yeah, he had 31 that game. So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna come down who can put the ball in the bucket, but
Well,
also who can make these adjustments.
well, Trouble could score.
He
They
can
got
score that basketball.
they could score, man.
He can score that
Ain't
basketball
no
for
doubt
sure.
about it, man. Hey, man, I don't know who's gonna win, but you threw me off with losing the one player for Dunbar, but I just think I wouldn't call it. Sometimes these games are trap games, in my opinion.
Mm,
You
that's
know what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
Sometimes games like this they're dangerous. So we'll see how it goes. Um, we went to we went to Fairmont to watch Alter play. And Smith can attest to this. I mean, anytime you play Fairmont, I don't know what it is. They just do something to you, man. Unless you're Tri Village or somebody, man, it's like all of a sudden you become even with Fairmont. I don't know what they do, whether it's football, whether it's basketball. They just got a different vibe going on there. So you just never know what is going to be the outcome when you go in and play Fairmont. But from your standpoint, Smitty, man, what did you see from Alter? What did you see from Fairmont in that game? What was your take, man?
First and foremost, um, the hype is real, man. I don't even want to call it a hype. I mean, the results is in on the young guy, man. He's as good as he's been portrayed to be. You feel me? And he's young. What I like most about his game was poise. Um, I feel like mentally, not physically, but mentally, he could play college basketball mentally. Now, physically is different, but mentally, I mean, he didn't force a shot. I mean, he damn near only shot layups. I think I seen him take two shots. There was one time he got the ball on a break and he looking left and right behind his shoulders. They on a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2, and I mean he controls the game. I mean, pass it. I mean, at this point there was a senior, and the senior kind of got off to a little hot start, and you could tell he was bickering at him the whole game. But he started backdooring him, pause. I mean, left, right, let's layup after layup, Euro step, layup, and one to the line. And it's like, I he wasn't saying much, but he was kind of talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he played well. He had I'm pretty sure y'all got the names. What is it? PG? What's his guy's name?
Yeah,
PB?
William
Are you talking about Payton Bakos? Talking about
Yeah,
PB.
your
Oh,
man
okay.
PB.
Bakos,
He's
yeah.
a good player. What number was he? He was number 3, right? Or
Number
number
three.
4?
Yep.
Number
Number three.
3. Um Pump help me with number four's name. He was
Is that Thomas Nichols?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Thomas Nicholas.
he played well. But Alter, granted, their coach just won the state title a year or two ago. So he they run a good offense. It kind of reminded me of how Centerville was running their offense against Wayne. Like they just ran their offense. Regardless if they made a shot or missed it, they kept running their offense. They kept running their offense. They just kept running their offense. Um, you already know what you're gonna get out of Fairmont. You feel me? Your man's McGraw, 31. You feel me? You know what you're gonna get out of him. But as far as the supporting cast, it was the pressure, and even though he had 31, there was times to where he was contained, and then there was them times to where he go on his little runs. There'd be times he be contained, and then there'd be times he go on his little run. So, I mean, they definitely played him how I feel everybody that plays Fairmont should play them. You feel me? Zone up and play as physical as you can with McGraw. And what happens with him happens, but you got to make it hell for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when they beat us the second time, he's the only one who had over 3 shots. Everybody else had 3 shots apiece. Everybody who scored in that game, other than McGraw, had 3 shots. You feel me? And again, he had 22 out of 40.
Who was us? You talking about Wayne?
Yeah.
You would think, man,
so,
everybody don't know that.
well, against Wayne, my fault. So when they played Wayne, yeah.
For
But
sure.
yeah, man, like you said, when you play in Fairmont, it's like what's coming. Football, it's that offense. And basketball, they're gonna have one guy, and then the rest just fall in line. Last year was the shooter. What was his name?
Evan Gentili.
Yep.
Gentili.
Yep.
Gentili was the man last year. You know what I'm saying? They fed off him. This year is McGraw, and then next year is going to be him too. So y'all better get ready. Y'all better get ready to see this dude again. You feel me? Probably 9 times out of 10, he'll probably get GWOC Player of the Year. I don't see why he wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
Yeah,
think
he's about to get it.
he averaging a double at this point. So,
Yeah, he's back to back.
um, but yeah, Alter look good, and I feel like they got the young talent in Peagler, and I feel like they probably could make a run. I want to say ended up beating them double digits. I want to say 10 or 12.
Yeah, well, they end up winning by 9, but
Oh no, okay, them
but when
late
you
free
and I
throws,
left, it was a double-digit lead.
right?
I mean, they clearly had Fairmont's number. They just couldn't keep up. I mean, you look at the stats. You know, PB. Shout out to Payton Bakos, man, young cooker, man. Love his game. Had 20 points, 5 steals. Thomas Nicholas, the shooter, at 15. William Peagler. William Peagler, man. Hey, I'm gonna get his jersey. He had 24. He had 24, 6 assists, and 9 rebounds. And back to Smith's point, man, this is a freshman. And when he says that this guy has the mind and the feel for the game to go ahead and play college right now, it's not an exaggeration. If anybody's going to not glaze, it's Smith. So if he makes that statement, this kid is for real. It ended up with 24 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, and again, I'm talking about a freaking freshman. And then obviously on the other side of the court, which is Fairmont, man, if you're not, to Smith's point, if you're not running the zone and you don't have a legitimate big man, it is going to be a long night for whoever Fairmont plays. They struggle. You watch Tri Village and why that game went so bad. They got a 6'6", 300-pound center, and they run a 2-3 zone to perfection. They run it like they invented it. You know what I mean?
Damn, they're like old school Syracuse type.
Oh my, yes. I mean, a beautiful 2-3 zone, and I'm not a fan of 2-3. You know what I mean? But they run that to perfection. But again, to your point, man, Jaden ended up with 31 points, a block, 3 steals, and 9 rebounds. Again, man, this guy is 6'3", with 2 pairs of socks on. You know what I mean? Playing like this. So,
No,
good luck.
you can't stop. Like
No, he's
the problem that they gave Wayne was Wayne switches everything, and instead of them playing zone, they was running a pick and roll with McGraw mismatch. I mean, he didn't shoot a jump shot versus Wayne. He had layups, all layups.
he's
So,
very
like you
dedicated.
said, like to your point, I mean, even with Centerville played played him tough, but he still got off. And it's kind of like you done coached against these type of kids to where it's like you're not telling your team to let him do what he wants, but you're like, hey, he's going to get his. Make everybody around him beat us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it ain't like you're like, hey, just let him do it. It's like, hey, fam, you're not going to be able to stop this guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Either you better hope he got a bad night or you can contain him. But these guys around him, and it's no knock to no, I'm not, downplaying any kid. I'm just saying, like, make these kids around to make them beat us. Now, if whatever the name is, no offense, or kid is like, hey, if he scored 20 and they win, hey, we'll live with that. You
Mm.
feel me? We'll live with him scoring 20. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, playing Fairmont is like he said, if you ain't got no big and if you don't perfect that zone, it's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
held
hard.
down low for
Well,
somebody.
I want to say something real quick. I got one point I want to make, and then I got a question for Coach, and that question goes for Coach and you, Smiz. But to your point, man, when you look at what Alter did, Jaden McGraw went crazy. I mean, he's the guy. But Sawyer Newman had 0, Nolan Stringer had 7, Caden Ralston had 3, and Cameron Thornton, the guy that was jawing back and forth with Willie Peagler, the point guard, he had one of the better games of his season, and he had 8.
And
You know
we
what I
done
mean?
seen them play a few different times, and
A
like you
few different
said, that's
times.
probably his best
That's probably his
game.
best game. He had 8 points, and then you got a guy, Ashton Adams, coming off the bench for 12. But your starters outside of Jaden McGraw score 18 points total. You know what I mean? Again, and against the team that put up 70 points. So if that was the game plan, it worked. And that's how they skated out of there pretty easy. But I'm gonna switch gears real quick because there was some commentary that Smitty had with one of the Wayne parents, and he had asked Smitty, and I want to ask you this, Coach. Um, there is a chance that Wayne will run into Fairmont in the playoffs. And if they do, how are you feeling? Is a third time a charm? Or is Fairmont a team that you want to stay away from if you're Wayne?
Oh man,
Go
that's a
ahead,
that's a
Render.
touchy that's
Go
a
ahead.
touchy situation, man. I, oh
Say
man,
it. Nah, quit playing, bro. Nah, nah. Nah, you rubbing your head a little bit too hard. Pause. Nah, say it. Nigga, your eye. Hey, your
hey,
eye
nah,
ain't nothing in your
listen,
eye,
because
bro.
that's a
Ain't
great
nothing.
question.
Hey,
Hold on, that's a great
he's back,
question,
man.
right?
Mitch, what's going
Right.
on over there?
You just got
Because
your
I'm gonna
hair
say
cut,
this,
bro. Ain't
okay.
nothing.
So listen, hold on, let me answer the question. Hold on, let me answer the question. All right, so if it's me, I'm staying away. I'm staying away from Fairmont. But the competitor in me, though, the competitor in me, I'm going right at Fairmont. I'm gonna tell you why, though. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm taking Jaden McGraw out the game. Somebody else has to beat me. I'm sorry. Somebody else has to beat me. Jaden McGraw, I would double team. Oh man, he'll get the double team from I don't know where. But Jaden McGraw is not going to beat me. Somebody else better go for 20 plus for them to beat me. Jaden McGraw is not going to beat me. But I ain't gonna lie. I gotta go away from Fairmont. It's somebody else that I gotta go to. It's somebody else. But I'm gonna say this too, right? How the standings is as well. You also got to be able to understand too. Like I don't think it's I don't think it's if Wayne goes there. I think it's if Fairmont goes there. So how it is, and how I look on the RPI because you can go on OSA's website and look how the RPI is for the Southwest District for Dayton. So I think Wayne. I think it's Centerville, Wayne, and then Fairmont. or Northmont. I think it's like Northmont, Fairmont, one of them two. So the first, like I said, Centerville gets to pick where they want to go, and then Wayne gets to find out where they want to go. I will not be surprised if Fairmont goes right in with Wayne. I won't be
Mm.
surprised. Will not be surprised at all. I will.
Are you saying? So you basically saying Fairmont hunting?
Of course. Listen,
Listen,
this is my
hold up,
thing.
time out, 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 time out. Listen to this. I'm about to say it again for you. I'm about listen, both of y'all. Fairmont hunting Wayne.
Huh?
You know how bad that sounds? You know what I'm saying? And hats off to Fairmont though, because I can't even hate because you earned that. You've earned that to where what's up? Because I I'm a competitor like you, bro. Like if it was me and now granted, I know there's a few cats on Wayne's team that's gonna hear this and they gonna be pissed. And I know they gonna be one of the ones, the twos or the threes that wanna lace their shoes up against them.
Right.
But this is me watching 1-3 the last 4 games. I can't even really remember the win for real. Uh,
Mm.
I know that the loss was. I want to say I think Genatelli either hit a jumper
That was at
or
Fairmont. That was
what
at
he hit the
Fairmont.
jumper right. It was
Yeah, that
he
was at
hit. Okay,
Fairmont.
okay. Um, and then I watched BTA twice. Um, I don't. If I mean, what you gonna stop him the third time now? Like, all of a sudden, it's like now you got the game plan. So it's like I don't. Nah, fam, leave them alone, please. You know what I'm saying?
But I
But
don't
like you
think.
said, it ain't a leave them alone. It's like, damn,
Yeah, yeah.
y'all
It
getting
ain't to leave them alone. They coming
y'all are
right to
getting
you.
hunted. Y'all
Yeah, they
getting
coming
hunted.
right to you.
Like, how's you the second seed possibly and you getting hunted down? That shouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? That ain't right, bro. That ain't right, bro.
Hunt them down, fam.
That ain't
Oh
right, bro.
no.
Hey, Pump, what I used to say? What up? Where we at with it? What's up?
Ah, what we
You
doing?
feel me? On ashes, bro.
Right,
Hey,
right. For sure.
hey, that's
But I
funny.
do feel like the seating should be interesting. It
It
should be
will.
interesting.
I was not.
What is it?
You
This
go.
Sunday?
I think it's either this Sunday or next Sunday. I
So
know
yeah,
for a
it
fact.
should be
Like
interesting.
I know, like D3 on down is this Sunday for sure. I'm pretty sure. I have to look again though, but I'm pretty sure
Oh
D3
yeah, because
on
I want
down.
to say last night they said either we're gonna play the third or the fourth, and it's either Trotwood or Vandalia, one or the other. I want to say.
Well, coach, you had some thoughts on the tournament, right? Or, the seeding or, what I feel like you brought that up earlier that you kind of wanted to talk about the tournament a little bit, man. What did you have in mind?
So like, okay, y'all just brought up the. I don't know if everybody understands about the RPIs and how everything works. So y'all can go on OSHA and go look up like the state, not the state, but like the area rankings that they have for like the RPI. So you'll have like your record, and then like the RPIs is kind of like your strength of schedule. So like, and it goes off your wins as well, and it also goes off on who you beat as well. So I think Centerville's first right now in Division One. Centerville is number one. I think Wayne is still number two. I think Fairmont might be three. Either Fairmont or Northmont is at third. One of them is at third and fourth. So like I don't know if everybody understands on how seating goes, but like it kind of goes as all right, whoever's first, they get to pick where they want to go. And then after that, others get to pick. Now you start to see some of these other teams is going to go after who they feel like they can be able to go beat. But normally, how it is you're probably the Dayton area Division One is normally GWOC team. So the GWOC the GWOC is gonna have to play against each other. But it's kind of now like, all right, I get to pick on who I want. So it's kind of gonna go down to that. Then you got your Division Twos, which is like I think it's like Miamisburg, Northmont, Fairborn, Sydney, like all them other MVL teams. And then you got like Northmont and Miamisburg that's going to be in there. They'll play against each other. And then you got D3. Everybody else will play each other like Trotwood, Tip, all them. They'll play against each other. So I'm really intrigued on how it's going to unravel because I do think this year's tournament is going to be very very interesting to check out for sure, and just to see on who all goes where, like who picks where to go, and because I do want to talk about that. I do want to talk about where Lakota West can be able to go, and then where Princeton can be able to go because obviously them was probably the two best matchups that we done seen in a long time, and we'll probably get to that as well,
For
for
sure.
sure.
For sure. They might, again, man, they might see each other again. And man,
For sure,
How
for
deep
sure.
though in the playoffs would they see each other though?
It just depends on where, and it just depends on where everybody lands. Like I don't know where everybody's gonna go. But I will say this: I do think most of them Cincinnati schools probably think Dayton is kind of sweet right now.
mm,
I
mm,
would not be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if you see a Princeton come up through I think it's like the Springfield region or it's like the
So
Columbus region or
hold
something
up.
like that.
So now because for a minute you couldn't choose which route you went. I know when I was in school, there was a way we could have took like the barn that was Columbus, and then you had your Cincinnati way. But if you was kind of want to say maybe the top two or three seeds, you kind of got to pick that way. But then
Right.
they went away from it. They came back to it now to where you could kind of like pick your route
Yeah,
to
it's
where
it's,
you want to
it's
go in
kind
the
of it's kind of
tournament.
weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird because like it's kind of weird because like because I looked at the like kind of like the tournament breakdown on like how everything goes. So like when I looked at the Dayton region, like you can line it up with some Cincinnati teams, obviously some Dayton teams, and then you can also line it up with some Columbus teams as well. So like they kind of did it they kind of did it like a couple of years ago with Trotwood because I think Trotwood had to play like when they got in the regionals, they had to play against a Columbus school. I think they had to play against what team was that? Because they beat Northridge and I think in the districts or regionals. So they had to play Bishop Hartley in the regional finals. So it just depends on how it is. So like Division One, you only got 64 teams. Division Two, you only
Mhm.
got 64 teams. Then Division Three, I think you got like over 100 teams. So like
Ah, okay.
that also adds up as well. So
That's with the new divisions as well though, right? Because what
yes,
it's basketball
yep,
is what, 7 now?
yes, it's set. Yep, 7 divisions.
Okay.
But
So
also you got to think
that
too,
kind of
right?
shook up the things as well too, right? That comes
It
into play
does.
with it, right? Okay.
It does because you got to think too, right? Like I remember, like you used to have to play like two sectional games, and then your
Mm-hmm.
third game might be like a district. It might be like a district finals or something, and then you'll go on the regionals. You only got to play one sectional final game to go on the district finals. So you only
Okay.
got to play one game until you get the districts, and then after you play your district final game, obviously you go
It's on,
right in
huh?
the regionals. Yeah, you go
Okay.
right in the regionals.
It's on, okay.
So you telling me I only got to win two games to get the regionals?
yeah, that's
Two
crazy.
games.
I mean, shoot. To
That's
the what is
that's
the winner get the spoils? What is that quote? To the victor? You know what I mean? If
That's a
you
fact.
if you've been balling all season, you
Hey,
will be
here it is
rewarded.
for you.
Yeah, you will be rewarded.
Here it is.
Um, let's talk about Westerville North. Um, if I'm not mistaken, Smitty, coach, they won the state last year in Division Two.
They did.
Yep.
They did.
Um, and it sounds like all of a sudden these guys are back again.
So
Um,
they probably might have brung everybody back from the. I mean,
oh, it
if
sounds like
they acting like this, and like you said, they won state last year. There's got to be some key returners.
yeah.
We haven't
So
got
I
a
think they
chance to
returned.
lay on.
I think they returned like 3 starters from last year, and then I think they had some older guys that was on the bench that's having key factors and their run again this year. So
We haven't got up there to check them out. I think we was going to try to go see them play. Who was they? Who? What game was that? Pump. We was trying to go see them play. North was
So they
Saint Iggy.
why
Saint
why
Iggy.
would they right. Well,
Yeah, they
so
played
they
St. Iggy up in Columbus. We was going to go check
yeah,
that out. We didn't get to make it, but
right. Right. Well, yeah, for sure. Because I forget why we didn't make it, but these guys obviously they went D2 last year. To coach's point, they're bringing almost everybody back. They played Northridge the other day. They beat Northridge 72-48. They almost beat Northridge by 30. We've all seen Northridge play this year. They're a pretty solid team. So to
yeah.
beat Northridge by 30 is tough. I look at their schedule. They lost to Lutheran East by 2, which I want to talk about Lutheran here in a minute. Especially with the St. Ed's loss because different. I know styles make fights, and I don't want to get off a topic too much, but some teams are losing to teams that are beating other teams that lost to other teams, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. But they lose to Lutheran East by 2, and they beat St. Iggy convincingly, almost by 20. And when you look at coming up, they got to go up to Lima Senior and
Who
play
North Westerville
Westerville
North?
North. Yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
when
Okay.
is that?
I like that.
next week, my friends.
I like that. I like
Next
that
what?
game.
And
Next
it's
what?
a Saturday game. That's a
Mm,
Saturday game. It's at 3 o'clock.
I like that
Or
game.
might have to
Sunday.
check
We
that
got to
one
check
out, my boy.
the schedule, but
I might have to check that
listen,
out
man.
next Saturday. I'm free. I ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, this might be a Saturday game, man. So again, man, these guys we already know they're rough and tough, and then the schedule is, I wouldn't call it Trotwood Centerville schedule, but I mean it is obviously tough. And they got a cat, Tony Cornett, who's their best player, and he's a 3-star guy. He's got, offers from Marshall, Kent State, Ohio, Cleveland State, kind of dominating the MAC. And he's still got one more year. He's only a junior.
Mm.
So what's that's crazy. Lil Tony, like I've been knowing Lil Tony for a long time, been coaching against him. His dad was the AAU coach.
Mm.
Um um Tony is a kid. He's a very smart, high IQ kid that knows how to be able to get to their spots. And when you see them play, obviously you see him playing like the 5, but he's really everywhere. Like he's kind of like he's kind of one of them guys that that can be able to space out your big. Him being at 6'5", 6'6", he can shoot the basketball. Oh, he can kind of get to the rim whenever he wants, take the contact. He also goes rebounds the basketball as well. I thought he was a huge piece of them winning the state championship last year. I think they had like the 2 senior guards. I think they was twins, and then I think they had a little brother that was playing with them too. He's back playing with them too. So
Did they beat in the state last year?
they be
We ain't go see them play in the state last year, bro.
be Dang, you asked me too quick.
Oh no,
I
we
had to look
didn't.
that
I
up.
only went to the Olentangy Orange. I only went to Olentangy and Reynoldsburg last year state. I ain't even watched them.
Yeah, I think whoever they played, I think they end up beating them convincingly too, if I'm not
Columbus low
mistaken.
key been running
They beat Massillon by 32.
They who they beat?
basketball
Beat
and
Massillon by
football, man.
32.
You said they beat Massillon?
By 32.
Mm.
Mm.
I think last year they smacked everybody though. I want to say
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
they ran through that tournament last. I mean the season, but the tournament. I don't even think they had a close game. I think their closest game
yeah.
probably might have been like 15, 16 points, if that. I think they had a lot of blowouts though.
They did. What's crazy is I saw them like last year I saw them last year in the summer at UD, and I think they beat Alter by almost 40, and then they beat Centerville by 30. That's how I knew they was real. That's how I knew they was real.
In the
And they
summer
play,
league,
yeah,
damn.
and they played on the big court too. I'm talking about
Mm,
they beat them so
mm, mm. That's what's up.
Well, looks like they're gearing up to do it all over again. So,
Lima Senior next Saturday, huh?
well, here's the thing. That's the preview. That's the preview. That's basically the preview. Because if you're saying Westerville won it last year, we've all watched Lima this year, and we've seen what Lima can do. Okay, so that game could be a preview to potentially a state final, a late playoff run, matchup. So whoever wins this game, oh man, they're going to be taking a lot of clout into the playoffs. I got Lima. I haven't seen Westerville, so I may be a little biased, but I'm very excited to see how that game ends up. What? What? What'd you say? Right. Well, I tell you, they're going to Lima. I was gonna say I'm not gonna speak on the playoffs, but they're going to Lima. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh my. Yeah. Hey, said a lot about Lakota West. Yeah, says a lot. Um, Real quick, man, let's before we get into to that game, that'll probably be our finale. What do you guys think about the run that St. Edwards is on? This is not St. Edwards football. This is St. Edwards basketball. They just beat Lutheran East by 4, and Lutheran was on a crazy run. Um, it sounds like this St. Edwards team is for real, man. What do you guys think about these guys?
I mean, they gotta be for real. I mean, for us to not, again, we haven't seen Lutheran Nice flying to the hoop. They didn't play. That was going to
Mhm.
be our opportunity. But just from the pages we follow and the internet, I mean, like he said, they've been on a crazy run. Not knowing a lot about St. Ed's, I was kind of shocked that they won. But seeing clips and articles from last week on IG and stuff, they was basically calling this whoever won this game the King of Cleveland. Basically, like whoever this was supposed to be 1 and 2, and they said St. Ed's claimed the top spot in Cleveland. So, like you said, adding to your point, Pump, they gotta be for real. Because I mean,
I
we
see why they said that.
spoke highly of Lutheran East. And
Right. Well, what's interesting about St. Ed's, bro, is that early in the season they lose to St. Iggy by 14, and this is what's kind of different to St. Iggy a little bit for me. Throws me off a little bit because it's like St. Iggy beats certain teams, then they lose to a team, and you just kind of can't figure it out because we watch St. Iggy and they have the talent, but they lose to St. Iggy by 14. They lose to Newman Goretti. And if I was a guessing man, this team is not local. They lose to them by 3, but then they go on a hell of a run, beating St. Iggy by 3 points, back-to-back games. And this is probably why they're saying that these guys are the Kings of Cleveland. They beat St. Iggy's by 3, and then the very next game they play Lutheran East, and they beat them by 4. So, I guess, man, shout out to St. Ed's once again for being good at something.
I mean, it ain't football, so I ain't got too much hate. You know how I felt football season when we talked about them.
Right.
So, I you know what I'm saying? I give them their props on the hoop season. I told y'all before, again, football, no. Not showing y'all no love in football. St. Ed's football, no, we'll get to that, you know what I'm saying, later on in the year. Because I'm pretty sure y'all gonna be in there somehow, and I gotta hate on y'all. So, but I will give y'all's props on the hoop side. You feel me? So yeah, y'all got it on the hoop side.
No, they got it right now. They playing good ball, man. I mean, and then I look at God, man. I'll talk about St. Ignatius here in a minute, but just looking at Lutheran East, they only lost 2 games. And they beat some good teams. You talk about another tough schedule. You got you got Reynoldsburg. They're the only team to beat Westerville North.
That's
Lutheran East.
big. That's big.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I did my fault, y'all. So I did hear that one of I think Westerville's first loss was to Maysville, and I think Maysville won the state last year in Division 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So
Yeah, good.
so
So Westerville only has 1 loss in this league.
yeah, Westerville North only has 1 loss.
Right. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
So I think Lutheran East, I'm not surprised that they end up, taking a loss to St. Ed's and even to Maysville.
You're right, Maysville. They beat them by 6, and that was
Yep,
about 2 weeks ago.
yep. Like, and I do think Maysville is like really, really good. I think they came down here and played Alter. I want to say like the Rich Kid Classic, if I'm not mistaken. And like that was a crazy. Like I think that game was like I think they both teams had like over 100 points in that game
Wow.
in a high school game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
No, you're right.
crazy.
They beat Alter 110 to 102.
That is
Crazy.
crazy,
That is
man.
crazy. That is crazy how they put up numbers like
Ridiculous.
that
110 to 10 in high
Oh,
school?
in
oh
high
my
school.
It's
gosh.
already hard enough for one team to score 100, but
I'm
both?
te- I'm telling you. That's why I said
Oh man.
I'm like Maysville nice. Now they're nice.
Golly. Yeah, no, they tough, man.
That is
They tough.
crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. What's even crazier, high school basketball is just different. Maysville does all that they're doing. They beat Luther and they score 110 points on
Oh,
Alter.
Alter, yeah.
But then they lose to Taft.
Really?
Yeah. They
I didn't
lose
know
to
that.
Taft. Yeah, they lost to Taft. So Maysville out of Zanesville, and Zanesville always got something going on out there, man. Whether it's football or basketball, they keep a little pocket of talent out there. They lost their very first game of the season. They are 19-1. They are on an 18-game winning streak.
That's crazy.
They lose their very first game to Taft, 69-65. They beat Alter, St. Vincent St. Mary, Lutheran East by 6. I mean, and then they lose again to Cincinnati Taft.
I think if they play Taft again, I think they'll probably end up beating Taft.
Bad news, huh?
Taft
Yeah.
good?
I mean,
Taft
they
is
lost
solid.
5
They're
games. They're
solid.
solid. They lost 5 games. I mean, Taft got beat by Aiken.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
They got beat by Aiken and by Hughes.
Got you.
I low-key
Yeah,
want to
that's
see Hughes play, man. I keep hearing about Hughes, man.
Nah, he was good, man. He was Lee Sean Hill, a dog. Lee Sean Hill is a dog. I think he averaged like 20 points in the CMAC, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he averaged 20.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. St. Ed's is on a great run. They're Division One, correct? Same as football.
Yes.
So we'll see how they end up. I don't want to keep bringing up St. Ignatius, but I'm just something's weird about. I don't know if it's because of the youth. I don't know what's going on with St. Ignatius, but they're a team that they lose certain games, they win certain games. I would not want to see St. Ignatius in the playoffs.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because it's kind of like it's not a Fairmont trap game, but it's a trap game.
They're just dangerous. You know, they got
Yeah.
the weapons. So, and then Lutheran. What division is Lutheran coach?
I think D5.
So their Tri Village is
No, Tri Village is in D6.
D6. Okay. Woo, man, I would have liked to see that game.
I
But
think
yeah.
I think I think the only team that Lutheran needs to probably run into is probably Alpha Centric.
Okay. Okay. So Lutheran East is slated to win again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably gonna win again, man.
Makes sense.
No problem. All right, fellas. It's my first time trying this one.
Princeton versus Lakota West.
Princeton versus
Game of the year.
L.
Was you
Hey
there,
man,
Render? Was you there?
Rennie was
I
there.
was definitely there.
So,
Rennie was
so I
there.
watched it. I really
I was
want to
almost at the
hear.
court.
I watched it on live. I was at my son's game. They had a game on Friday. I want to hear before y'all dive into the game because I watched it. Um, I want to hear the atmosphere from both of you guys' perspective. That's kind of like before we dive into the game. I want to hear the atmosphere, man. I want to hear, I want to know what how the fans was acting. I want to know what the student sections was doing. Like how was the atmosphere in there again? It got moved. The venue got moved from the high school to the Centos. Sold out in what 2-3 minutes. 6,000 people, 7,000 people. So what was the atmosphere like in there, fellas?
I'll just say this briefly, and then I'll let Coach dive in. I sat on Lakota's side, and in my opinion, you're talking 7,000 plus, almost 8,000 people. There's only one more section to Xavier that could have been filled out, right? Which was the nosebleed. Every other section was at capacity. Um, it was just epic, man. I think everybody that walked in there knew like this was the game, in my opinion. The stadium is a beautiful stadium. They got all the bells and whistles. It was Cincinnati's finest, and you know how nobody sells things out like Cincinnati.
No,
You
that's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean? Nobody moves games around like Cincinnati. So it was just, the stars were out that night. You know what I mean? And in the student section, I had to give the student section all day to Lakota. I thought Princeton got hype when Mercer kept them in the game. Lakota was kind of like the baby Cameron crazies of the old Duke days. You know what I mean? It was very coordinated efforts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. So, but I'll give the floor to Coach, man. But I thought the environment was it was state final, vibes in there. So
I have to agree. I have to agree with probably everything that you just said. Like state final feel. Um, like both student sections was deep.
mm-hmm.
Um, man, when I tell you, like, I think when we got to the game, I want to say like it was like probably about they was like obviously they run the clock for about for the warm up everything else. When I say it was already deep in there, like how like the first section like where the bowl is at, it was already filled. Thank God I almost got a courtside seat, so I was thankful for that. But like if I was anybody else, I probably wouldn't even got that. I probably would have been going up toward the nosebleeds for sure. So, man, the atmosphere was crazy. Um, like I said, I thought it was the game of the year. Like, and I think to touch on that point, um, Lakota West, the game was going to be at Lakota West, and I think Lakota West only hold like 2 or 3 thousand. It was sold out within like 2 or 3 minutes, literally. So when they moved it to Centos, they kept track on like how many people have purchased their tickets, right? So I think once they got to like I think they was talking about on Tuesday. I think Thursday it got to like 6,000. I want to say Friday was up to like 7,000. When I want to say because it started snowing on Friday, so like uh, I don't know if they was trying to get the game moved or not. I don't think they probably was because Princeton still had to play Trotwood that next day, so they couldn't move the game. If that game was moved to Saturday, they would have sold out Xavier. I think they ended up with like 7,527 tickets.
pretty much what I heard.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
so you selling you come like you selling 7,000 plus tickets. Oh, Lakota West made some money that night too. Just letting y'all know they made some good money last night. They made some good money that night
Yeah,
for
shout out
sure.
to them.
So, but as far as like the atmosphere and everything else, like it was a great atmosphere. Like, shout out to both teams. I thought both teams came to play and, they gave that feel of the game of the year because I caught it out before anything. They thought it was gonna be Lakota West and Reynoldsburg. I knew for a fact it was going to be Lakota West and Princeton. And then when Cam Mercer came back, it just gave it a better feel.
Mm, holy
It,
moly.
it gave it a way better feel of how that game was going to be. Like I said, salute to both teams. I thought they played a very, very competitive game, and I'm ready for part two.
Yeah, man. So, I'm interested, in how you guys saw the first half. Obviously, Lakota West, in my opinion, has a top three coach in the state right now, Kelvin Moss. I watched his work at Lima. I watched him against Princeton. It's not easy coaching talent. You know what I mean? It's not always just because you have talent doesn't really mean much, right? But he coaches talent to perfection. They're always poised. Um, Joshua Tyson is an absolute gamer. The crowd was so hyped, and to come out the game and just like the three that he hit on Cam Mercer, it was not a bad shot, but it was a shot he could have kept the ball moving, but he nah, I got him, because Cam guarded him right out the gates, which I thought I had to give Cam props too, because I'm like, oh, okay. He guarded the best player, not just any player. He guarded JT. And
Yeah,
then JT hit the three in his face. You
Full
know what I
court
mean?
too, though.
Full court, man, on him. So I mean, out the gates, man, was just Lakota was just like blazing hot. Josh Tyson was blazing hot. And I kept talking to Smiz back and forth. And, I'm just watching Princeton. And I don't want to say too much because I want to leave the floor open for you guys after this point. But I'm watching Princeton and they just look so the best word that I could come up with in the beginning is erratic. They're just, you know, everywhere, taking bad shots. You got Cam all the way out by the 3-point line. And then at the same time, Lakota is coming down, hitting everything. Joshua Tyson is putting so much pressure on these boys. And I think at one point they're down 18-0. And I'm just like, and let's just be real. At this moment, everybody's thinking like, damn, man, nobody can touch Lakota. Nobody. You know, but I at the same time, I'm seeing like little flashes. Okay, can get a dunk, or then something else happened. I'm like, okay, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep my eyes peeled. So I'll leave it right there, man. But like, I just kind of want to hear y'all's perspective at that point in that first half, or what you guys were seeing, man.
I'll go ahead. Go ahead, Smitty.
I mean, at first you honestly see, like I describe all the time, Princeton got punched in the nose, and their eyes started watering. Like they, you feel me? And it took a while for them to settle in. And like you said, when we texting, I'm sitting here like, yeah, what's going? I don't know. And you like, nah, chill, just wait. And I want to say what Princeton ended up being down what 4 at half.
Right.
So they
I
kind of
think
was
Facts.
six.
chip
I think
six.
six.
Okay, they ended up chipping away, and they had them that series of plays where Cam did that tie the game or did they go up? Did that put them up the first time when he dunked on JT?
That put him up too.
Okay, so at that point, I mean, he brought the house down. They up two, and that was when it was like, this is a game. Um,
Man.
I didn't agree with that last offensive foul they called on Princeton. I'm not saying that's the reason they lost, but like we said earlier, man, making that
Critical
call,
time.
it's like you know what I'm saying? Like you
Critical.
said, Render, it's like, man, you kind of don't. You just got to let it play out how it's gonna play out. I don't feel like you can make that call, bro. I mean, what was that, a tie game at that point? And and
I think
that
it was a
turned it
tie
what to
game. I think it was like
and that
50
was a
all.
swung to a 6-0 run real quick. You feel me? Real quick, because
Yeah.
ended up going up 56-50. So it's like, granted, I'm not saying that call blew the game, but it's like, why? Like, why now? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Because that turns into a 6 point swing.
and then the game, I
Mm.
mean, Santiago, what, he ended up hitting a three to what, take it to 53-56?
No, I think
Or
he hit the
was
three to
that
go up.
before?
He hit the three to tie the game because I think the game was like 47-50.
Okay.
He hit the three to tie the game up, and then I think it was like a turnover or they got a rebound, and then I think Amir Gill came down. I think that's when he got the charge call.
That's kind of listen, man. That was first and foremost. Shout out to Lakota West. They did it again. Period. Point blank. They got the dub. But there was something interesting in this matchup, bro. That if they play again, I think it could go either way.
Yeah,
Because here's the thing: you got to factor in the fact that Curry got in foul trouble. That
yeah,
hurt.
yeah,
That really hurt. He got taken out of the game at critical moments. You got another 6'4", 6'5" guy that can D up, that can provide scoring, and he's on the bench. You know what I mean? And now you got Princeton starting to make their run. So I got to throw that out there because if Curry plays, I don't know. Maybe we see a different game. But when I really, play it back in my mind, these two teams are so evenly matched
yeah,
because whatever Lakota has to leverage against Princeton, Princeton has something equal on their side that like, hey, well, you can't really touch this. You know what I mean? They got the shooter with Santiago. They got Amir Gill. And honestly, Amir played a good game. I think he ended up with like 18. Amir can do so much more, man. I'm not even trying to knock this kid, man, but big frame, bigger than Tyson, bigger than Curry. Curry's taller, but Amir got that bulk on him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh man, if you could just use this right here, again, and then they got a scrappy point guard. This is where I feel like coaching comes into play big time when
Yeah.
you really look at the difference between these two teams. You know what I mean? That to me is I would say that is the only edge that Lakota West has over Princeton, in my opinion. And I'm Render, I'm very anxious to hear what you think about that. But I think they're so evenly matched, to be honest.
So man, what's crazy was when Lakota West went up. When Lakota West went up, I think JT probably had about the first about 7-9 points.
Yeah,
And
almost
when they
10
went up,
points real quick.
when they went up 12-0, right? Like I'm like, man, they coming out fired up. You see Coach Moss over there going crazy.
He
You
was going.
know, they locked in, you know what I'm saying? When they go up 18-0, I'm like, man, this can't be a 30 ball. The point in the game, I don't think you point this out yet. The point in the game in the first quarter, when Roman Combs, number 13, he went to go for that dunk and he
Oh,
missed that
yep.
dunk.
Right.
That
Good
changed
point.
the whole complexion of the game because if you think about it, Lakota West had total control. Total control. When he missed that dunk, it put Princeton back into the ball game because I think they came right back down and they
Cam got a dunk.
scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam ended up getting a dunk.
He got a
Once
critical
Cam
dunk.
got that
That gave him
dunk,
life.
it gave them like I think Cam got the dunk, and I think Santiago came down and hit a three.
Yes, sir.
Then that's when you start to see the lead started to chip away. Mir Gill started to hit some shots. And
Mm-hmm.
I think Cam ended up getting a strip off of JT, and that's
Dunk.
what really turned them up.
Listen, when he took his candy at the top of the key, I was like, because again, me and Smith texting heavy around this time, right? And I'm
Yeah.
telling him, I'm like, hey Smith, listen, because I think I might have been a few minutes ahead of him. He was watching another game, so he trying to tap into both games, if you will. And I'm seeing these flashes from Cam because at this time I'm like, damn, is he 5-star for real? Is he really 5 stars? Because you gotta think Lakota jumping on him at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, how
Cause
good is he? I'm like,
I even low key said something to him like, man,
yeah,
Is
he
Cam
not
really
looking like
like
for no
that,
wavy
bro?
5.
And he like, nah, man, just keep watching, just keep watching.
But I keep seeing the glimpses of his athleticism, man. There's a difference between Cam, Curry, and JT, bro. There's a difference. I don't want to argue who's better right now. I'm gonna give JT the nod, but there's something different going on with Cam, bro. Because when he starts to do things really well, you almost see like, okay, all right, I see why you gave him the 5. When he ripped Tyson at the top of the key, came down, you know, boom, slam at a critical moment in the game. That's when I was like, hey man, listen, he's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
I think
different, coach.
I think once because you gotta think, right? Cam is only a sophomore.
Sophomore,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Cam is only a sophomore right now. And that's the thing that we have to all understand, right? Cam is only a sophomore. Now, does Cam probably gotta work on having a more consistent jump
Right,
shot?
right.
Maybe. But we
Yeah.
also gotta understand he's only a sophomore, right?
True
And
sophomore.
and I exactly. And I think that we kind of hold him at a higher pedestal because he's top 5 in the country.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So yeah, we definitely hold him at a pedestal of that, but as well as I do think like Like how Cam played against Lakota West. I just wish he was a little bit more aggressive.
For sure.
If
For sure.
because I really he got a pro body, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think
Got a
it's
pro
gonna
body.
continue. It's gonna continue to, like, you can tell, like, he just looked different out there. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so when you talk about his pro frame, you know he has a 7 foot wingspan.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. They got him recorded at a 7 foot wingspan. When you think about that rip from Tyson, Tyson is a top point guard.
Yes,
Nobody ripped. Who has ripped Josh Tyson this year, man?
man. Not too many people can really say they done rip Josh
To
Tyson.
my knowledge, I don't know anybody. So to get ripped at the top of the key by this young sophomore and then come down tomahawk, you feel me, bring the house down, dunk, like, hey man, this guy is something's going on over there with this kid, man. And to your
Yeah,
point, the thing about Cam is you could tell he's young. I'm gonna take it all the way back to Peagler just for a second. This is why Peagler's feel for the game is so irregular.
yeah,
Because you look at somebody like Cam, there were moments where it's like, well, damn, Cam, why didn't you step up and block the guy? You kind of was frozen on the weak side, and you didn't have to be frozen. Or, man, Cam, go ahead and get to the paint, bro. Why you take that long? You didn't have to take that shot. Go to the paint. You got it. There's certain aspects of his game that it's like, once it clicks in, once his experience goes up, and man, whoever gave him the 5, they got it right.
yeah.
He only
I
had
agree.
17 points, but listen, I seen the flashes. That 5, he deserves that 5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this too, right? You know, he played up in AAU last year, and they won a Peach Jam down in Augusta
Mm-hmm.
last year. So
Mm-hmm.
I think
Uh,
I think y'all
you
can
back?
y'all hear me?
Yeah, you back?
So I think that's huge to I think that's huge, being able to play up, and you playing against probably the top kids in the country
Sure.
playing up. So it can only translate going into your school season, going into next year as well. So I do think Cam is only going to get better. You're only going to see Cam get better. That's all you going to do. You're going to see Cam get better. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like I said, I think part two, like I said, as long as Cam Mercer is being aggressive, and you got a Amir Gill over there that's being aggressive as well, and you got Santiago hitting 4 or 5 threes, because that's really the next person that's really like an X factor in this game, because like all his threes was behind the college ball. It was
Man,
behind the
Yeah,
college line.
he
I'm
was
talking
pulling
about
up
this.
from deep.
NBA range.
I'm
Hey,
I'm I'm telling you.
facts.
I'm telling you. And let me say this real quick, right? Let me say this about Lakota West real quick. I remember you said something about Bryce Curry being in foul trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman Combs was a key piece for Lakota West to winning that game.
Oh, for
Facts.
That
sure.
whole third quarter, that whole third quarter, Bryce Curry was out. He was out. He was sitting. And I don't know if y'all paid attention, but JT wasn't as assertive, or he wasn't
Nope.
scoring a lot. He was
Pump, you
He
still
shut
said
down.
that. You
he,
said that, Pump.
Yeah.
he was still being a great defender, and he was still doing the little things right. But Roman Combs did the little things right. He finished all his layups, and he kept Lakota West at a float at one point, because Princeton was really on a run to beating them. But every
Sure.
single time, Roman Combs would literally come in and literally keep Lakota West at afloat. And when I think Bryce Curry hit the biggest shot
3.
in the
That
game
three.
Yeah.
in the
That
fourth
three.
quarter. That corner three, it was a fade ball too in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the fourth quarter. So
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I gotta give props to Roman Combs, because if Lakota West don't have Roman Combs, Ooh, it might be a
Slow.
different story.
It's slow, man. And you're correct, man. I mean, Roman came to play, bro. Because Curry, you take, your second, and depending on what day it is, it could be your first best player in Curry in foul trouble. Just look at the stats, man. 7 points. If you didn't watch the game, you're not going to understand how important his 7 points was, especially in that
That
period.
was very important.
And then you got to think about, this is why I say 6'4", 6'5". He had a big block. He had
Mm-hmm.
4 steals.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody that you got to have him on the floor. He does it all. So the
Yeah.
fact that he didn't play, Roman Combs steps up. This just tells you about this Lakota team, man. It's one of those things where it's like, I go back and forth because I'm like, Lima had him. Princeton had him. But did they? Because at the end of the day, Lakota keeps winning.
Mm-hmm. I think, and I'm gonna say this, right? Like, Lakota West does a real good job of knowing who they are, and also knowing who they are, and they know their identity, and everybody knows their role. So,
They
like I
just
said,
want to win.
yes, shout out to Lakota West.
Go ahead,
Yeah, they just
Smith.
want to win. They
Mhm.
definitely come off as no egos. You see a lot of the behind the scenes in the locker room. Just the way they talk, the way they interact with each other. It's kind of like things we get back to saying in the previous pod, culture. Uh, coach's name. What's the coach's name there?
Kevin Moss.
Uh, Moss. I
Kevin Moss.
mean, those guys are willing to run through a wall for that man. When you a coach, you got a leader like that, and you follow that leader, the head coach with JT and Curry. I mean, how many games do you lose? You know what I'm saying?
At least too
That
many.
the three-headed snake is strong. Everybody else got to fall in line. You know what I'm saying?
That's the cup runneth over, Smids, is, in my opinion, is the coach. Because this is probably not going to show up for most people, but I know Coach Render saw it because he kind of mentioned it. He didn't go dive into it too much, but I'm talking about even on that 18-0 run, Coach Moss is going absolutely nuts on the sideline.
Yeah.
He is coaching for perfection. He's thinking way ahead. He's telling, yelling at guys like, hey man, we up 18-0. But he's seeing mistakes. He's seeing things that, like, I don't like that. That's when I text you. I was like, boy, remind me of Carson.
Yeah.
Not maybe Coach Carson, but when Smitty and I played, we played with a guy, Isaiah Carson. And if you play with him, man, he was always yelling and trying to boss you around, but he was like, his competitive nature was so nuts that it was just like he really is helping you. And that's
Yeah.
how I
Mm-hmm.
saw Coach Moss going crazy on the sideline. I'm like, hey man, boy is a maniac over there for perfection.
Yeah. Hey, and you gotta love coaches like that, man. You gotta love coaches who want to go through a wall for you. But not only
Absolutely.
that, them kids going through a wall as well. So
Right.
I need, hey, if you're not a coach that's willing to be able to give energy on that sideline and be able to
Mhm.
get your kids going, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a long day for you. It's gonna be a long day for sure.
Right. That to me was the difference. I I to me, second half, I can't really say anything about Princeton's coaching. I can't. Play great ball, fantastic ball. To Smids' point, that foul that Amir Gill got, that offensive foul, oh my God, it was heartbreaking. I didn't know who I wanted to win, but I didn't like that call. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He made an
Yeah.
excellent drive to the basket. Princeton is on a run. You know, it was just a weird call. But I did see a couple things where I felt coaching wise, why we got Cam so far out all the time?
Yeah.
Why is he having to make things happen from the 3-point line all the time? I thought to myself, and from a coaching standpoint, easier said than done, but it's like, at this high school level, Cam Mercer can play 1 through 5,
All
offensively and
facts.
defensively.
All facts.
So,
Facts.
why do we keep him out so far? So, I don't want to beat a dead horse or whatever. It was a great, great game. I got to see exactly who Josh Tyson was. Curry didn't play the whole game, but I got to see exactly who he was. Roman Combs, Amir Gill, my man Santiago, super strap. You know what I mean? So, Jordan Johnson, feisty point guard,
Yeah.
rough. He only had 4 points, but he had a block. He had 3 assists. He had 8 rebounds. That's championship ball right there, man.
I'm gonna say
No,
this
for
too,
sure.
right? If he don't foul out, I think it's a different
Different
ball game
game.
as well. I think it's a
It's a
bit different
different
ball
game.
game. Yep, I think it's a
So,
different ball game. Nah, that
hey,
game was lit. That game was definitely lit. I'm glad I went.
definitely looking forward to the next one if it happens,
Wait,
man.
I'm so sorry I couldn't
Smiz,
go.
man, we ain't got no more topics, man. Bring us home, man.
Uh,
We go rub it in.
we got a senior night, man. No, well, it ain't the last home game, but senior night Friday for Wayne. We got Dunbar and Trotwood this Saturday. Yeah, that's pretty
Y'all
much
play
it.
Northmont. Y'all play Northmont.
Friday, yep, senior night, yep, Northmont.
That's gonna be a big
Man,
game too. I think that's gonna be a big game too.
I agree with you, Coach.
um, I
I
don't see no
agree.
more big games, man. You can't win the GWOC. It's not a big game.
So hold on now. So Springboro plays Centerville Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
And they
Mm.
It's
We got an interesting take on that Centerville situation, but I don't want to say anything right now. I want to keep it off the record in confidence that we had a reliable source from the Centerville side. It could be a personnel issue, but again, I don't want to disclose that without my guy's permission. But that's interesting. I mean, whether they beat Springboro or not, I don't think it takes anything away from Centerville's season, seed wise, GWOC
no,
series. It doesn't make a difference.
no. The only thing that if Centerville does lose to Springboro, then Wayne gets a share of the GWOC title.
Ah, got you. So I
Mhm.
thought this was already solidified. So interesting.
So it's solidified for Centerville.
Yeah.
But
It'll
if
open up for Wayne if they lose.
yes,
Got you.
yes,
Got you. Interesting.
yes. So Wayne still has a chance. If Wayne, like I said, Wayne just got to win out, and if Centerville loses to Springboro, then it gives them a share of the GWOC title.
Okay. Not bad. Not
Well,
bad. Well, fellas, I
I
tell you
get,
what, man. Go ahead, Spence.
I guess you gotta kind of hope for the Springboro win for Wayne's sake.
Yeah.
But Centerville, man,
Hey,
you know
man.
how I feel about Centerville. I feel
They
like people
rolling.
just need to stay about their way, bro. Just leave them alone, man.
Yeah, Cubs got these guys rolling right now, man.
You want some of this
Hey,
too,
man,
old
they got
man?
them rolling, man.
No.
It's that offense, man. And listen, there's two things that's going on with Centerville right now, man. Two things. One, Cups. It feels like Cups finally got these boys to understand what that offense is really supposed to be ran like.
Then they
Number
got your
one.
man's
Number
back
two,
too.
you got to shout out to your mans that just came back, Keely.
For sure.
That's a difference maker.
And I don't even remember him
He
that first game, but that second game, he was out for blood.
man, boy, try to catch
I
a
don't even
body,
remember
boy.
him that first game, but that second game, man, he said,
It's because y'all jumped
"Hey,
out on him too crazy.
get up, hey man, what's up? This is
Listen,
real.
Sam
This is who he
Keeley.
really is."
Right. He was an assassin. Go ahead, coach.
Listen, Sam Keeley. I think what he had like about 25 or 27,
25.
and he didn't even look like he was going 100%. That's how bad it was. He wasn't even going 100%. That's
That
how
was a
crazy it was.
crazy
That was
display of
bad.
layups, bro. I ain't gonna say that's the most layups I've seen in the game
My
because Upper
God.
Arlington versus Trotwood, that was probably the
In
most.
my life.
That was probably the most layups I ever watched in a basketball game. Upper Arlington versus Trotwood in the state final of some years ago. I think when they had Patton,
Oh,
light
the
skinned
Final
guy.
Four. Yeah.
Man, listen, they backdoored
Yeah.
Trot till the back door turned into an open house. Like it went from a back door to an open house. Like what?
Oh
But yeah,
man.
sunroom, boy.
Oh
I was
man.
like, man, what? But yeah,
Yeah, they
you
got
know,
yeah,
let's go
they got backdoor
Springboro.
by 30 for sure.
Let's go Burrow.
He
Ah,
said, let's go Springboro.
yo. Hey, we'll see, man. Where's that game at? Does anybody know?
I want to say is that Springboro.
I think you might be right. Let me see something real quick. That game is at Springbrook.
Yeah, it's at Springboro.
Mm,
Yorkmont is at Wayne. Senior night.
well,
I might go to that Springboro Centerville game. I might go to that
It
game.
ain't a bad local game. I mean, and then I might do the same thing. Oh. So Smith's
Oh,
done
we
checked
lost
out.
Smitty.
Yeah, he might come back in. I'll tell you what, coach. I will agree that's probably going to be the best game on the local side. But the week after, we talked about this, but now I'm starting to get, starting to get excited. Aiken goes to Wayne.
Oh yeah.
Smiz, you back? We got Aiken going to Wayne next week. Now hold on, you're right. So I get what you about to say, Smith. You know what I'm saying? Who you gonna get? What type of Aiken is gonna show up? But this is what's really interesting. Because I feel like St. X been giving guys problems, and they go to Centerville next
Oh, I
Friday.
forgot about that. Yeah. I
I
forgot
think
about that
I
game.
might have to check
Because
that out
I'll just
too.
I'll leave you with this, man. This is what's because again, 2026 high school basketball has been strange to me, man. There are losses that take place, there are wins that take place. I don't quite understand. But St. X beats Trotwood by 20.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Wyoming.
St. X?
St. X
Yeah.
Oh, they
beat
did.
Wyoming 46 to 44.
Yep.
They did
They
Hey,
sure
beat them.
did.
they beat LaSalle 34 to 23. It was a crazy low scoring game. They beat Aiken 44-38. They play this Friday, they got Moeller,
Mm.
which is going to be interesting because the young freshman, he cooking over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they got Centerville as the last game. Centerville, they nuts over there. They want the last game to be St. X. Ain't that something?
And then they play Wentworth Woods as well. That's crazy.
So wait a minute. Oh, coach. So that game is actually not on the. Let me see if that game's on the schedule real quick. Because the Winton Woods game is technically next week, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they put it out on IG if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
that's
I
where I've seen
just
it at.
shared it. So let me look at this schedule real quick. I got Centerville
Man,
here.
what is wrong with this? Why does it keep
Yeah,
reconnecting?
so they don't have on the GWOC. It's not there, but they got Springboro this coming Friday. No, they got. Oh, okay. Now I see what's going on. Good call, coach. They got Saint X next Friday. Well, they got Saint X next Friday, and then they got Winton Woods that following Tuesday at Winton
Okay.
Woods.
Okay.
So Centerville ain't playing, man. That's a crazy schedule, man. Good
Hey,
Lord, man.
Cups is good. Hey, Cups is real good at scheduling real tough games. Like,
Like,
you know, obviously they see it Win Woods as another threat that can be able to help that can be able to help Centerville
help the
going into the
cause.
tournament. You
Right.
know, not only that, like I think Cups want to be able to see different styles
Yeah, for
and
sure.
knowing how to be able to defend that and to be able to run his offense with that as well.
That's a fact.
You know, so like I said, hey, I commend Centerville because they run a crazy schedule, and the GWOC is not. It's not hard. I'm not hard. The GWOC is not still not easy to win,
Right.
but I don't know how they just win eight straight GWOC titles though. So I don't understand it. But
They shared one with Wayne somewhere in there, but
Yeah.
8 straight for sure.
Nah, I dig it, man.
I did the knowledge.
All right.
I
Well,
don't know if
fellas,
Smitty trying to say something.
Oh, y'all can't hear me?
I can't hear you. You on mute?
I don't know what the nah.
yeah, you got no volume.
Y'all can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
It's all
Nope.
good. He out of here. It's all good. Coach, man, appreciate you coming on as usual, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Until
sir.
next time, my friend, man, I will see you. Four
Yes,
quarters,
sir.
we out. Yes, sir.